Hey, what's up? Hello, I'm here. I'm queer and I'm not gonna disappear. Hey, what's up? Hello, I go by Ren. Today I have a story time video for you guys. It's basically my coming out story video, and I say coming out because I never came out for myself. Somebody else did it for me, and it was unconsensual, and it's what makes this story wild. So that's a good thing. But the reason I never came out for myself was because I don't feel the need to come out. I feel like if straight people don't come out as straight, I shouldn't feel under any obligation to come out as anything other than that. I want to give you guys some background. I grew up with my mom. Like, I lived with my mom, but we went to my paternal grandparents' church. Both my grandma and my granddad were preachers, and they owned their own church, and every Sunday they had sermon, and they had the band, and they had the children's room. What is it called? I don't know what it's called, if it's called something, but they had like the children's section where we learn our scripture and stuff like that. So growing up, I knew about Adam and Eve. And I always, for years, like I was a kid, like a child, like a whole child. For years, I always thought Adam and Eve were both guys because I didn't think Eve was a girl's name. I never understood, like I would always forget which one was a girl or which one was a guy. So for the longest, I thought they were both guys. So that's just how my child brain worked. So from there on, I mean, eventually, like, of course I heard stuff in the church about homosexuality. I don't remember exactly what was being preached from my grandparents. I just remember that it was mentioned, and that's where I learned about it from. Because when I was a kid, I didn't think about sexuality. Like, I didn't even really think about liking people. I thought boys were gross, and I just didn't think much about anything involving like liking people or stuff like that. Flash forward, I think this was Christmas of 2015. I am 18 now, so I was 15 when this happened. I have a cousin on my paternal grandparents' side. Growing up, we were very close, but we're not close anymore. And because we're not close, I'm gonna change his name. So his name in here is going to be Victor. It's Christmas Eve, 2015, and I go over my paternal grandparents' house, and my whole like dad's side is over there. Everybody's there. Everybody's like putting stuff under the tree, getting ready for dinner, cooking, stuff like that. So I walk in the house, and Victor is already there. And me and him kind of started to have a weird relationship. When we got into high school, it got very different because he moved to a school that was kind of like ghetto and not like the school that he went to before. So he kind of thought he was from the hood, and he started acting real different. And so I didn't mess with it at all. It was kind of awkward when he greeted me, but he walked up and he was like, "Hey, Tran." And then it was kind of just normal from there on. But like within the first 20-30 minutes of me being at my grandparents' house, Victor comes over to me and he's like playing on his phone, and he starts messing with me. I don't know what made him ask me this, but all of a sudden he looks at me and he's like, "Tran, you ever ate a girl out?" And I was like, what? Like, why are you asking me that? And I just looked him in the face and I was like, what? No. And he was like, "You're lying." And he kept telling me I was lying, and I was like, okay, I'm not finna entertain you. So eventually he left me alone. That was that. A few hours go by. This is where it gets crazy. My whole family, everybody is sitting at the dinner table. So my cousin is literally dead across the table from me. Mind you, the table is like a square rectangle, something like that. And everybody is seated at this table. And this man looks at me, and he's sitting next to my uncle, and he's like, "Y'all, Tran's a dyke." And I was like, I kind of just stopped, and everybody stopped. Everybody was like, what? And they're very religious. I don't know their specific views on any of that kind of stuff, and I don't really care, but that's not anybody else's place to tell anybody but my own. And especially since I don't feel the need to tell people what I am, like, I just felt, I got mad. I got super mad. And so he says transvestite. So my grandma then looks up at him with like a disgusted face, and she's like, why would you say that? And he was like, transvestite. And I didn't do nothing. I just sat there for a second because I was just like, is he serious? Like, are you for real? Really? Right here, right now? You don't even know anything about me. You make assumptions. So who are you to be going around yelling this to everybody at the table? So the next thing I do is, I had a roll, I think it was, on my plate that I hadn't ate yet, and I pick it up and I throw it at him across the table, and it ends up hitting my uncle, because mind you, I said my uncle was sitting right next to him. It ended up hitting my uncle, and after that I just pushed my chair back and I got up from the table and I tried to walk away. But like, the table was set up, it was really close to the wall, and I was kind of like cornered in between where the two walls met. And so I got up and I started trying to walk over here to leave, and there were people sitting here. They wouldn't move out of my way so I could get through. So I ended up crawling underneath the table just to like maneuver around the chairs, and then walked out the front door. That was that. I walked outside. Honestly, I wanted to walk home, but I was too far away from home. And I started calling my mom, and I don't think she answered. And I ended up, it was raining and everything too, I ended up finding like this gazebo in their neighborhood, and I just sat at the gazebo and I was just like, this some bullshit. Like, this is some bullshit. Like, what is wrong with him? Like, why every time I see him, it's always something. It's always something. That's why I don't talk to him anymore. I was annoyed, I was frustrated. And then my granddad, he came and found me, and he was just like, everything's all right. I wasn't looking for their validation. Like, it was nice for him to say that, but I wasn't looking for their validation. I was solely just annoyed at Victor for being him. Like, I was just annoyed at who he is as a person. So eventually I walked back inside with my granddad. I don't remember what happened the rest of that night. I'm pretty sure I called my mom the second she picked up the phone and told her to come pick me up, and I left. And after that, I stopped talking to him. I honestly don't remember the last time I talked to him. So yeah, that's my coming out story. Comment, like, subscribe, same as always. So you guys will see me in the next video. Like, all of our issues are in our heads, and if we get out of our heads and believe in ourselves for once, then I think we can all do great things. I think y'all can do great things. If you want to get